And the U.S. stock index futures were sharply in the red ahead of Friday's open. At around 3 a.m. Eastern Time, Dow futures slipped 162 points, indicating a negative open of 213.67 points. Futures on the S&P 500 were pointing to a negative open of 17.5 points, while Nasdaq futures signaled the index will open 46.5 points lower. On the data front, investors will be keeping a close watch on non-farm payrolls, the key metric for Fed policy due out about now. At the same time, there will also be unemployment numbers. In corporate news, the earnings calendar is thin, with only veil results due to report before the bell. Away from the equities markets, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries has ended talks without a deal on oil production cuts, as Russia has refused to commit to the big output curb that Saudi Arabia is demanding. As talks continue today, Saudi Energy Minister Khalid Al-Faleh says he's not confident that an agreement will be reached since everyone is not ready to cut equally. This failure to secure a deal is the latest example of how OPEC is under pressure from forces that are redrawing the global oil map, leaving it increasingly dependent on the support of non-member Russia. Meanwhile, oil prices fell on Friday as OPEC discussed a potential exemption from cutting output for Iran, and as the producer group sought to get heavyweight supplier Russia on board. International Brent crude oil futures fell below $60 per barrel, trading at $59.53 per barrel, down 53 cents from their last close. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were at $51.05 per barrel. The declines came after crude slumped by almost 3% the previous day with the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries ending a meeting at its headquarters in Vienna, Austria on Thursday without announcing a decision to cut crude supply. The UK oil explorer Tullow Oil is seeking partners in a bid to acquire a new oil block in Ghana, which launched its first oil bidding round in October. Tullow is already lead operator of 2 oil fields in Ghana, including its flagship offshore Jubilee field, with cumulative output currently at around 160,000 barrels per day. Tullow had to delay the development of its second field, TEN, due to a maritime border dispute between Ghana and its western neighbor, Ivory Coast. Following a resolution of the dispute by the International Tribunal of the Law of the Sea last year, Tullow had drilled 3 wells for TEN and 2 more for Jubilee. Ratings agency Fitch has kept South Africa's sub-investment grade credit rating steady at sub-investment and maintained its stable outlook. The agency, however, warned that low growth and rising debt of state-owned firms posed a risk. According to Fitch, South Africa's ratings are weighed down by low growth potential, sizable government debt, and contingent liabilities. It rates both Pretoria's foreign and local currency debt at BB+, 1 notch below investment grade. South Africa's net foreign reserves, in the meantime, rose to $42.5 billion in November from $42.1 billion in October. And Kenya's NIC Bank and Commercial Bank of Africa will hold talks on a potential merger to combine their separate expertise in retail and corporate banking. NIC is a mid-sized lender, while CBA is ranked among the top banks in the East African nation. The potential merger will be the first major deal announced in the industry since the government capped commercial lending rates in 2016. Still in Kenya, a food factory in northern part of that country is turning the numerous fish skins that is unusually discarded into leather. Victoria Foods has also been working with the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization as part of its Blue Growth Initiative, which aims to add value and increase employment in the fisheries sector.
Forget leather. The future of fashion in Kenya is all about fish skin. For many here in Kitale, an agricultural town in Kenya's northern Rift Valley, fish is a culinary delight. But once the fish's most desired packs are sold off, The rest is wasted. Enter the Victorian Foods Factory, which saw an opportunity to add value to locally caught fish by turning wasted fish skin into leather. The company works with around 300 fishermen from Lake Turkana in Kenya's north who provide it with Nile perch. After the removal of fish scales, the fish skin is put in a tannery where it is soaked for an hour. Banana extract is then added to remove the odor and salt to strengthen the fiber and soaked for an additional 8 hours.
Fish leather is it's considered exotic leather. It's like reptile leather, and you know the reptiles are endangered. We have crocodile leather or snake leather, which is endangered. But fish leather, it's a good alternative to that. You don't require CITES for the permit that you use to export the leather for endangered animal species. You don't need that. So I think very soon, as it gains popularity, it's going to there's going to be a lot of demand for it in the market.
The United Nations is also promoting blue fashion and challenged designer Jamil Waliji to create garments for a show held recently in the Kenyan capital, Nairobi.
I was inspired actually to take the challenge to create garments with it, infuse our local fabric, the leso, together with the fish skin and the European materials. I wanted to bring out a combination that has never been done before, to bring out a totally new image and a new look to how we look at leather products.
Victorian Foods Ambami says the fish skin leather has been used to make shoes, jackets, belt, handbags, and purses, and it's not just fashionistas who are getting hooked.
After the break, we'll cross over to the Nigerian Stock Exchange for update on today's trading activities. Do stay with us.